Hi everyone, Daniel here, creator of the relationship model of addiction. And I'm here to help you navigate your recovery journey. That is, seeing you, helping you transition out of addictive, unhealthy relationships and into healthy, emotionally nourishing ones. It's quite a journey. I've been spending the last few video blogs and will continue to on the second stage of recovery. So after you broke up and went through the process of breaking up with your means of relief, you're now entering the second stage of recovery, which is developing a relationship with yourself. And what this is about is making your unconscious conscious, and learning to make certain discernments, getting better at discerning when you're reacting, when you're coming from the past versus the present. And so this is how you get to these places and go through these changes and learn about yourself. Understand that when you're in recovery, you're on a path of personal growth. And this second stage of developing a relationship with yourself is a period of intensive self-work, which you could do on your own by reading and writing and meditating. You could also do it in individual therapy or both. So now I have a lot of experiences, I have all the time where I'm working with people at all three stages of recovery. And I want to share with you a couple of very, very profound, powerful experiences I've had recently with people in the second stage of recovery who are developing more of a relationship with themselves, and what happened, what that looks like, where they came from, and where they got to. So one example is I was working with this couple not too long ago. A couple that's been married 30 years, has several children. The guy, Charlie, is a recovering sex addict and porn addict, and their relationship was on the verge of breakdown, of ending. It was on a thread, and they began couples therapy, and they're working on trying to get more connected and rebuild their relationship. So they were sharing with me an interaction and a conversation that they had when they were on a walk together, and she was pressing him a little bit about how committed he is to changing, what he thought is possible, where he is in the relationship and where he's going, and how committed he is. And she was really wanting to know. She was really needing to know because she wanted to know if this is, if he's in this with her or not. And so they're telling me the story, and what happened was that this guy is very, very buttoned up, very defended, very isolated, very disconnected from his feelings, and has a tremendous difficulty there. Since he's disconnected from his feelings, it's very hard for him to open up and share what he's feeling. Half the time he doesn't know, and half the time he's very, very defended and afraid to do that. So he snapped at her. He got short, he got impatient, or he got defensive when she was asking him about how he really feels in the relationship and where he sees it going. And then I saw something happen when she was telling me this story, and she was telling me what happened when, I was seeing what happened to her when he snapped at her, and I saw this veil of fear take over, come into the space when I was working. I saw a veil of fear in her, and where she kind of just shut down, checked out, retreated, and just kind of ran away from the conversation, ended it after he snapped at her. And I was just wondering, I was thinking to myself, where did all this fear come from? What the hell happened to her that she would react this way? And so I thought to myself, this is a reaction, this is a fear reaction that comes from being physically abused. I just got that from my own experience and just kind of put one and one together. And so I asked her, were you ever physically abused? And she said, no. And then she was thinking about it. She goes, well, except for when I was chastised, humiliated, and hit by my father. And we kind of got, that kind of hit the jackpot there in terms of a trauma that carries a lot of pain and shame that can get reactivated in present conversations in present time, and she's completely unaware that she's reacting as if she was like that little girl being humiliated by her father. So after we kind of sourced her reaction and she became conscious of it, then she was able to kind of shift into present time and share what was going on with her now, whether it's discouragement in the relationship or wanting to connect, or whatever was going on with her right now, and how she was going to deal with this situation is going to be very, very different when she's mindful and aware of reacting and is able to shift to a present reaction. It was very, very powerful. So now when she's having conversations and she goes a little deeper, or there's a little bit more of more at stake, or a little bit more risky, or openness and depth of conversation, and her husband gets defensive because he is the way he is, he's wounded as well, she may not personalize it the same way and react the same way, because she'll be aware that she tends to get triggered back to this time with her father, to that trauma and those feelings, and the need to protect herself, and just shut down to protect herself. Another situation I had recently was very different. This is with Alan. I call him Alan. And Alan is also a recovering sex and porn addict, and he's well into recovery. He's in the second stage of recovery, developing more of a relationship with himself. And he was exploring his patterns in relationships, and he's talking about he was married for 10 years, has 2 children, but it was a very abusive, dysfunctional relationship, and he was miserable, and his self-confidence and self-esteem and self-worth really plummeted in this relationship because his wife had anger management issues and was berating him and cutting, very critical and on his case constantly, and eventually it ended. That relationship, the beginning of the end came when he got busted on the computer with his porn addiction, but it became clear that he was in this relationship. That was a contributing factor to his addiction, because he was in so much pain and he was so miserable in this relationship. So he got out of that relationship, took a break, and got into another relationship where he felt a lot of this. It was very similar to his wife, where he just felt like he was always walking on eggshells, tense all the time, where she was critical, cutting, and making these comments about questioning his manliness and his self-worth. And he was kind of thinking out loud when he was talking to me, and he said, well, I think I'm really attracted to strong women. And when he said that, there was what registered in me was the unconscious part of what he didn't say. And immediately, when he said, I'm attracted to strong women, I got what he was really saying is, I'm attracted to strong women because I feel weak. I feel weak and inadequate. And they kind of being around what he perceived to be a woman makes him feel stronger. And so that was one part of it. And then we went further. I shared what my intuition was, and he was kind of disturbed and shocked by it, but kind of went with it more. And what came out was that a strong woman was to him, was a woman who can be very critical, very cutting, very abusive, just kind of sort of a very hard line, authoritative, berating kind of woman, and connected this back to what he perceives as strong and what he's attracted to in women. We sourced back to his relationship with his mother, who also happened to be, surprise, surprise, extremely abusive and had humiliated him on a number of occasions and was very critical, and just felt his self-esteem was so low from that. But he was attached. He was drawn to and attached to women who were like his mother, so he could maybe correct that experience and fix it and heal from it. But the point is that he was attracted. What he thought was strong was what women who were able to really cut him down and criticize him and knock him down. And this was a huge revelation to him. So now, whenever he's around women and sees someone that he perceives as strong and has that thought, now he can go back into an awareness of whether that's connected to him feeling weak and him being drawn to someone who's kind of abusive and wants to knock him down, and kind of redirect that and question the basis of that attraction. So this is the kind of stuff that happens in this stage of recovery, developing a relationship with yourself. You're on a path of personal growth and deep introspection and getting to know what's going on inside of you. So that's the lesson for today. I hope you derive value from that. You could use this, when you go out in the world of relationships and relating. And so until then, see you next time. The quality of your relationship is the quality of your life.